Is there anything better than spring and summer in the Pacific Northwest? It's the best time of the year to get out, explore, and discover all the beauty this area has to offer. We want to help you. I'm Derek Dice alongside Robin Nance with this half hour of adventure.
We want to take you to some local places that you and your family can go, and most of them are free. And they are all sure to help you make a lot of great new memories.
Let's start with a breathtaking bike ride. You may have heard of the Route of the Hiawatha Scenic Bike Trail in Mullen, Idaho.
And if you haven't cruised this Rails to Trail stretch yet, you really are missing out. It's an adventure of a lifetime.
Welcome to the Hiawatha. The Hiawatha is America's most scenic Rails to Trails conversion. You've got condensed into a 15-mile, mostly downhill path. You've got 7 sky-high trestles, 10 tunnels, 9 of the tunnels which you ride through. And the first one, which you see here, is the Taft Tunnel. It's 1.661 miles long, and it is dark. Some of the tunnels are curved, most of them are straight. Some of them are reinforced with cement, and others are just naturally left the way they were chipped out of the earth.
In St. Louis, we do a lot of bike riding on Rails to Trails, but let me just say, there's nothing like this there. It was terrific. Between the tunnels and the trestles, wow. We rode this about 17 years ago, so not long after it opened, so we wanted to come back.
Well, I think some of the history is what I find really interesting, and the scenic beauty. So when you get up on top of Kelly Creek Trestle, which is the longest trestle, and it's also the highest at 230 feet up, you're able to look way up a valley and know that there was a mill at the far end. They built this railroad back in the day to harvest all the virgin timber that was here. This was known as the most beautiful section of railroad in the country when it was first established back in 1909.
Oh, it's just gorgeous.
It's $12 to ride the Hiawatha, less for kids, or you can buy a pass to ride the whole season long for $54.
We're at Downriver Disc Golf course, and we're just playing some disc. I mean, disc golf's just like golf, but you throw a Frisbee into a basket.
When you come to Downriver, you're going to see the beautiful river views and lots of pine trees and lots of nature.
You got the river right over here. It's usually really sunny about midday. You got some patches of shade, you know, so you can stay a little cool in the summer.
The weather is nice. It's finally, there's no snow out here. I came out here one other time and it was in the snow, and now it's dry and nice and beautiful. And on this hole, it can easily curve right into the river, and if the wind's up, it will definitely go if you're not aiming the right direction.
There's 3 holes that are pretty bad. Like, you gotta be on your game or else it's going in. I've lost 2 here.
So I definitely brought backup.
Oh, everything's amazing, man. It's just how beautiful it is here.
You'll find 18 holes of downriver disc golf at Riverside State Park.
The Gold Hill Trail is one of the most popular for Sandpoint area hikers and mountain bikers.
It's a little bit of a drive from Spokane, but once you see this, you'll see how worth it is.
This is actually Gold Hill. It's a local hiking and biking trail. It's very well maintained. It's very smooth, plenty of width for both hikers and bikers.
Well, for me, it's a challenging trail, but it's beautiful. And the scenery is fantastic.
It's so much fun. It's a good climb up, not terribly technically difficult. It's a good ride down.
Oh, this is a great trail. I mean, it's not close to trees unless you go off the trail, which I've done.
There are several view spots. There's 3 benches. Some hikers go all the way to the top of Gold Hill. And from the top of Gold Hill, you have a 270-degree view of basically everything to the south, east, and west. And then there's another view spot up there that you have a 90-degree view to the north. So it's good exercise, first and foremost. It's not even exercise, it's just pure enjoyment. It's good for the soul.
The Gold Hill Trail is 3.7 miles and it's considered moderate for walkers. The city of Sandpoint is just a little ways away for an after hike or bike snack.
Whether you want to camp, play, fish, or even get married, Deer Lake Resort is the place for you.
It's close by, but a world away.
We're in Deer Lake, Washington, just 32 minutes north of Spokane. It's been growing steadily since the 80s. It's just beautiful and peaceful. I wouldn't live anywhere else, really. People really, have been tied up all winter. They're ready to get out and enjoy the lake and the sun. A lot of people come out to go fishing, wakeboarding, water skiing, jet skiing. I mean, you can do pretty much all your water sports on the lake. The water's pretty cold in April, so as Memorial Day comes, that's really the kickoff for the whole summer. No, it's not that busy. That's what we kind of like about it and people enjoy about it is not a lot of boat activity. Most of them are fishermen. If you want to get away from the city and all the noise, this is the spot. We just want people to come out and be able to enjoy the lake and their family. A lot of memories are built, with your family, camping and just enjoying each other. So we try to have a spot for them to do that with their families.
We almost forgot to mention, you can also mini golf, 9 holes among the aspen trees.
You don't have to set aside a whole weekend for a new adventure. Just 2 hours away is one of the amazing places in our own backyard.
The Rocks of Sharon, which my family just did on Mother's Day, is a beautiful trail just southeast of Spokane.
This is the access point for the Big Rock area, which is part of the Dishman Hills Conservation Area. About a mile up to the ridge. There are spectacular granite outcroppings that tower 200 feet in the air. There's views over the Palouse and east into Idaho. The Rocks of Sharon, because there's probably about 25 rock outcroppings of various sizes, so the rocks actually extend east and west along the ridge. These are granite fingers that came up through the strata, and then as it was eroded away, the granite fingers were left behind. Main Trail is at a moderate slope. It's well designed to minimize erosion. If you stay on that trail, it can be done by families and people of all fitness levels. Right now we're in the process of a campaign to raise $1.4 million to acquire the private property that's required for access from this trailhead to this spectacular recreation area. This is a great place if you only have 2 hours. You can come out here with your family and visit this area, and you can't beat the experience.
If you're wondering who's Sharon of the Rocks of Sharon fame, the Sharon Stone was the name of a stop on the electric railroad that ran from Spokane to Pullman in the early 1900s. Adventurers would ride out to the stop and hike up to the rocks for a day of sun and fresh air. The railroad's gone, but the name stuck.
Want to catch a stunning sunset? There's no need to drive to Seattle.
The South Hill Bluff is a little-known local treasure.
We're right on the upper side, right below High Drive of the High Drive Bluff Park, and which stretches for 4 miles or so from like 14th Avenue all the way around the Qualchan Golf Course out to 195. There's 500 acres of forest, 40 miles of trails, a creek running along the bottom, a spectacular place for hiking or walking your dog or trail running. The park department came in with great visionaries and decided to start buying this land over 100 years ago. And the latest purchase just happened here this year. It's amazing. A lot of people just drive on High Drive and watch these spectacular sunsets, but they're just seeing a fraction of the beauty of this place. And people come down here winter, well, summer. It's well used. I've never seen this great of an open space park, like right in the city. You know, that just doesn't happen everywhere. I don't think people realize what a treasure this is.
All kinds of wild animals call this area home. Keep your eyes open at High Drive Bluff Park. You may see black bears, coyotes, raccoons, skunks, and porcupines. We are just getting started with a look at all the fun you can have this summer if you opt for a staycation.
Still ahead on our Air 4 adventure.
We'll show you the power of the Palouse Falls, that is, a geological wonder you have to see from above.
Then, if your idea of heaven is a fishing rod and reel, be sure to check out Bear Lake, unbearably beautiful.
Our photographers have become really good at sending our drone, DJI Inspire 2, up, up, and away. This little 8-pound flying machine, we think you'll agree, helps us show you the inland Northwest like you've never seen it before. You already know that the Palouse is a gorgeous part of Washington State, but if you haven't made it to the Palouse Falls yet, you're really missing out.
And seeing it from above is simply awesome.
When I came out here, he says, well, there's one place you got to go. And so this is how we ended up right here. It's absolutely spectacular. You come around the corner and all of a sudden it's shocking because you see all this flat land and then there's the waterfall. And it's hard to decide which direction to look at. It's a very humbling experience being here. You know, part of it is not only the natural things, but to read that people were actually here 10, 12,000 years ago. And you know, when you come to a place like this, you appreciate what we've been given, the legacy of this, and you just want to do everything you can to maintain and sustain it. No matter where you are or where you go, you know, this is just many levels. Just, I hate to use the word it's right, but it's awesome.
And did you know the Palouse Falls is the official state waterfall of Washington?
Well, let's keep going with another great fishing spot you've got to see.
Bear Lake in Chattaroy offers gorgeous views to go along with your fresh-caught dinner.
We're at Bear Lake, Washington. It's beautiful. I think it's very tranquil and very calm, and I love hearing all the noises of nature. I'm with my friend Victoria, and we are just observing nature, observing the species that are living here.
Right now I have about 30 species of ducks that I'm learning. So far we've seen a merganser, a bunch of Canadian geese, an American coot, and a red-necked grebe. Helps us gain an understanding of their habitat and what we can do to improve it. Lets us know what they like, what they need. The importance of wildlife, the importance of them.
I guess I like the vastness of it. It's very open and I can see, you know, everything, and it's very calm and it's very inviting.
Nice trails around, park benches to sit on. all that rain last week too, and now it's just nice. It's not too bright out. It's perfect.
Bear Lake is stocked with rainbow trout, largemouth bass, channel catfish, yellow perch, and green sunfish. If you are looking for a little fun with an iron horse, we know just where you can catch it.
For kids and kids at heart, we're heading to the Rail Museum, where they're working hard to preserve some of our area's remarkable history.
Plus, maybe you finished your planting and are enjoying your growing garden, but did you plant 37,000 annuals? We'll show you where you can enjoy the work of the people who did.
For years now, the Inland Northwest Rail Museum in Rearden has been devoted to saving the story of the railroad in our region.
It's played a huge part in Eastern Washington's growth, so why not have fun learning about it?
Welcome to the Inland Northwest Rail Museum. Largest museum in this area that's devoted strictly to the history of trains. So what we're doing is we're collecting all the historical things we can about railroads so they don't end up being scrapped. We have 4 museum cars outside that people can go through. It's loaded with memorabilia and model trains. Passenger cars was the mode of transportation back in the 1880s, 1920s. Up through that period, that's how everybody traveled. You can walk around, climb up on the steam engine out there, see it. We have got a diesel engine. So it's kind of fun. We call it Walk Among the Giants. We say you need to spend about at least 2 hours here to be able to see everything, take a train ride, do a little shopping, and the experience is well worth it. And we always make sure we give them something to take with them to remember their experience. And that's our job, is to make sure that people can learn about the history of what was here. Typically, a lot of times when I go to speak to people, I ask them how many people have ever ridden a train. Not many hands. And that's what we're trying to resurrect, because once people get, it's kind of like a disease. Once you ride a train, you want to ride another one. Bring your family out here. It's only 25 miles from Spokane. Such an important part of our history that I think that it's well worth preserving. Preserving history and building the future, that's our motto.
The Inland Northwest Rail Museum is open Fridays through Sundays from 10 to 5. If you have a future fisherman or fisherwoman in your house, have we got a spot for you?
Yeah, why not take them to the fish hatchery in North Spokane for some pre-fishing fun?
Spokane Fish Hatchery. It's been there since 1938. It'll be North Spokane, right next to St. George High School and the Little Spokane River. Our facility is a broodstock facility, so we ship out a lot of our broodstock eggs to other facilities. Right now we're doing like 7,500,000 eggs is what we produce out of there, and those go all across the state. YY brook trout, we do regular brook trout, we do brown trout, and we also do some tiger trout, which is a cross between a brook and a brown. The main reason of what we're doing is providing a resource for the people, for sportsmen to catch. A lot of our fish are a put, grow, take fishery, which means that we're gonna only put fish in a lake for what people are gonna catch out of the lake. We'll go ahead and fill the truck up. We'll get the pond crowded up so that it's easier to catch these fish. The truck, if you notice, has a boom on it, and we'll just take that boom and braille, and we'll weigh those fish into the truck and turn the O2 on, and we're ready to go to the lake. It takes approximately 5 minutes maybe to dump out a load of fish out of our trucks. Just come out and fish. There's a lot of opportunity that we provide, and it's a great place to come out here to Liberty Lake. They have great access, and it's a really wonderful place to come catch a fish.
The hatchery is open for self-guided tours 7 days a week, 7 to 4, and guided tours are also available by appointment if you have a big group.
Well, we're not done yet. Let's go lakeside.
Did you know that Washington and Idaho combined have 10,000 lakes?
We'll show you a spot where you can enjoy views of Lake Coeur d'Alene that you'll never forget.
One of the best parts about living in the inland Northwest is that we get to enjoy so many beautiful lakes.
We sent our drone out to show you one of the most famous, Lake Coeur d'Alene, as seen from Mineral Ridge Trail.
This is the Mineral Ridge Trail, 3.4 mile loop, I do believe. A lot of people could make this hike even with limited ability. It's generally considered by anyone that's reasonably fit easy. There's plenty of areas to rest. The wildflowers were out. The girls really enjoyed that. They loved the Prospector Cave about halfway up. They had a lot of fun there. It was fun for them. Perfect weather and one of the best viewpoints around. It's beautiful right now.
Even if you check out Mineral Ridge Trail this summer, consider going back in the winter. Between November and February, a migrating population of 150 bald eagles visits the area to eat the spawning kokanee salmon.
We're about out of time, but thanks for coming along with us once again on another Air 4 adventure.
You can find new ones every week on Fridays on KXLY 4 News at 6. And if you have an idea for where our drone should go, shoot us a message at news4@kxly.com. We'd love to hear from you.
I'm Derek Dias. You can catch Robin Nance and me every weekday morning on Good Morning Northwest starting at 5.
Until next time, we leave you with the very beautiful Duncan Garden at Manitou Park, another gorgeous spot to get out and live life in this beautiful place we call home.
Duncan Garden, Manitou Park. Very early 1900s. It used to not be this level. It used to be higher. They took a lot of soil out, and then it was called the Sunken Gardens, and eventually it was named in honor of the person who had a lot to do with the design of the garden, John Duncan. Modeled after formal European-style gardens, 2-acre symmetrical garden with 37,000 annuals in it. Oh, there's petunia, zinnia, begonias, geraniums, alyssum, you name it. A lot of people will use it as a place to come and get ideas for what to plant in their own yards. We always try to put in a few new cultivars that we haven't tried and that are new on the market so people can see them grown hopefully at their best. It's kind of iconic for the city of Spokane. There's not much like it in the Northwest. There are a lot of gardens and a lot of nice ones, but Manitou is kind of unique in its collection of gardens. Everybody who works here, they're really talented people, and I have to give them all the credit. Lots of things that you have to overcome to get the plants looking good, and our staff does a really fantastic job of it.